Alright gang, welcome back to our one-tile challenge here on Calm Lands. It is now June. Doing this a little bit differently than we normally would. I had an issue with this file. It was corrupt. I was actually able to extract the entire file, with the exception of my voiceover that happens during the recording itself. So I have the actual file, but I don't have my initial comments, voiceover, whatever you want to call it, while I'm talking to you while we're doing the actual episode itself. So we're going to go about this a little bit differently than we normally would. Might be a little bit more in the regard of time-lapse than you're normally expecting to see because of that reason. But anyway, what we have started here off, what I'm doing here basically is I upgraded our water tank. I've been having a lot of issues with things sinking into the ground, and this was no exception, the salt one here. So you saw recently that I had that issue with the market, and now I'm having that same issue here with the salt. So I changed out the water tank for this one. It seems to be working well, and we're just kind of topping off the sheep here and the salt marsh as well. Now, as you can see in the background, one of our crop fields is ready to harvest today. So we'll be doing that harvest as well, which is going to be exciting. We're finally utilizing and buying an actual harvester, so that's good. And it's going to be fun to actually get in there and get that done. Now, a lot of what we're going to do with this, we're going to utilize a little bit of it here later on in the episode. You will see. I'm going to put down a chicken coop. We're going to put some of that into the chicken coop itself so we can actually start making some eggs. The remainder of that, really, we're probably just selling outright. We don't have a silo of any sort right now, and there's really not anything specifically out there that's too... I guess it's not good, really, for this series. They're either super expensive, which we can't afford, or they're super unrealistic, which I really don't want to get to that point. Granted, we have a couple of things that are unrealistic on the farm itself. I've mentioned that a couple of times, but I just don't want it to be too overboard, and more specifically along the lines of, holding, storing stuff, and how fast they process things. Right, as long as it's to a relatively decent amount of time, or in other words, as long as it takes around the same amount of time it would if you were doing something else like baling and wrapping, for example. It takes about a day, right, or a month. In this case, as long as it's something like that, then you're okay to utilize it. That's why we have that pole over there. Now here I'm trying to pick up some of these salts, and we're going to sell them. One specifically is the flower of salt. Now it's not the exact best time to sell it. I think it's technically August. I'm not positive on that statement now after I'm doing this off camera. But I believe it's August when it's best. But we are going to be selling both of these, and it's going to be able to produce us enough to buy the harvester. Now, we do have enough to be able to upgrade the harvester to something else. We decided to go with the cheap one that I've kind of showed. I don't know if it's I think it was the last episode that I showed this, but a recent episode nonetheless. We decided to go with that harvester, the cheaper harvester, just because of that reason alone. Saves us some money, gives us a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more room to maneuver with, and as I mentioned already, we are going to be putting down a chicken coop today. So, good things happening there. We end up baling up all of the straw as well later on in this episode. And we leave that straw just kind of baled up on the actual field itself. We don't actually do anything with it in this episode. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. So a little bit of a voiceover here at the beginning. The rest of this I'm probably just going to throw into a bit of a time-lapse. It's not really the most ideal situation. I get that. But I had a major issue with this save file here, and... well, I say save file, record file, I guess. I was getting a catastrophic error every time I tried to pull it up, so I had to do some hoops to figure out a way to extract the actual video itself. So there must have been something wrong. Not sure what. Something wrong with my commentary during the actual recording itself, which has not happened to me before. I've had some other errors that have occurred when I'm doing some recordings, and really it just kind of was a corrupt file to the point of I was unable to collect it or save it. But this one was a little bit puzzling to me, a little weird. We did gain some more sheep here. I don't think I mentioned that yet. I think I might have showed it earlier on here. But we did gain some more sheep. They have reproduced, so we do have a few more sheep, which is good, which means we're going to be able to make some more wool here soon as well, which is a bonus, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be harvesting that field, buying the harvester, and then baling up the straw on that field itself. Now, we don't do anything else with it. Here I'm looking at the used market. Nothing really specifically out there for us, unfortunately. I think we're going to be ready to buy the actual harvester here, I think. Yep, we're going to buy the harvester here. So we were thinking about maybe that Forstrite over there, one of those two, the E512 or the E514. But we decided to stick with that one just based on the fact that it saves us a little bit of money. So I think from this point forward here, gang, though, I'm just going to throw this into a bit of a time lapse. I apologize that it's not really what you typically would expect. But this is the best I could do given the situation, and I really didn't want to skip a month. And what I mean by that is I didn't want to just be like, well, I just did all of this without you off camera. I didn't want to do that. So we're going to still produce this as it is. The rest of it will be in a time lapse, but you will see everything that I mentioned, right? We're going to put down a coop with some chickens in it. And I think I buy max chickens on it. I think I buy all the chickens I can get into it just because I want to make eggs pretty quickly. The water tank upgrade and selling the salt and harvesting the field, baling the field, and that's pretty much what we do for this episode. So if you do enjoy it or you're enjoying this series and you still are enjoying this series, I guess, make sure you smash the like button for me. Helps me out an absolute ton. We'll see you in the next episode, gang.